I believe that God is always working every day, every minute, every second. He's always working. Now, I may not get to see that, our ministry may not see that, but God is fulfilling His plan. But as leaders and as people in the ministry, you want to make sure we're in the best position that we can be in terms of trusting the Lord and being a steward of all He's entrusted to us. So I think for me, it's been over the years sense of we are in the middle of something big, and a lot of it I can trace it back to probably 2005, 2006, where I feel like we just hit the bottom of what is going on, God? Why aren't we seeing more as it relates to just evangelism and personal follow-up and discipleship? And so back then, we engaged in a process to say, God, we've kind of veered off a little bit of our true calling from You, that You've called us to be about making disciples, fulfilling the Great Commission, and we're talking about it, but it's not in our personal experience. And so that led to really a several-year process of saying, okay, God, what changes do we need to make? What do You want us to do? Who do You want us to be different? And partway through that time, about 3 years ago, I entered into one of the darkest times of my life. And I feel like what God did to me personally and where He took me was to the very end of my known self at that time. There's, I'm sure, more places I could go. But I had even a physical experience one day with the Lord where literally I felt like I was just letting the ministry go to Him in a way for me that was a deeper surrender, and to say, God, whatever You want me to do, whatever You want us to do, I'll do that. And so I just think even in my own brokenness that there was something about that for me that God had to take me to. And I think that led, out of that even came some of the changes that we've made as a ministry as of late. But all along the way, you're looking for, God, is Your blessing on us? Is Your favor on us? Are You showing us that this is what You want us to be doing? Are You bringing more people to Christ? And so over the years, by the grace of God, have seen things happen. We've seen more critical mass to reach ethnic students. We've seen the whole ministry align around that vision in a way that you go, that's a God thing. Think of our vision for 100% sent and how people think about that and are talking about that and understanding that and the plans they're putting into place. You go, that's a sign of God's faithfulness. Then you see just over the last 5 years, the evangelism is quadrupled. The number of students involved has more than doubled. The number of movements where we're seeing people, students, faculty be engaged has grown. And so you go, okay, God, You're blessing that. But I think this last year, as that was building, we kind of moved a bigger step forward, and it was like, okay, Lord, we are in a season of something that is even more extraordinary here. But I relate that all in terms of God's grace to use us, first of all. And then even in personally, some of my own experience of being broken, and then also as a leader, like all of us do, to say, God, what do we need to do differently to see the reality of what You've called us to do become tangible?